Good afternoon, and welcome to another series. As you can tell, we're not at the port yet. We are here in San Diego, and it's been a bit of a different cruise already. We're not even on board yet. So let's go over what happened. It is currently 2:45 p.m., and I don't know if you can see it behind us, but the Disney magic is back there.
And she has just pulled in.
We were able to come here over to Harbor Island to watch her sail in. Our original port arrival time was 12:30, and we were in boarding group 6, so we were not in a late boarding group.
But San Diego does have later boarding times than most ports, specifically almost an hour to 2 hours later than Port Canaveral.
So why is it 2 hours after our port arrival time that we still haven't gotten on board? Well, we got a heads up right around yesterday afternoon on the cruise Facebook group, and it's one of the reasons why being a part of the cruise Facebook group is so important.
We also received an email from Disney notifying us of itinerary changes. Our port stop was changed from Cabo San Lucas to Ensenada. This was a major letdown for a lot of cruisers, as the beach city of Cabo is a much preferable port in the Mexican Riviera over the industrial vibe of Ensenada. Even though Disney Cruise Line terms state that ports can change at any time, we were provided $300 in onboard credit, as well as a 10% off discount each on a future cruise. We were also given updated information about luggage drop-off and arrival time. Even though the ship wasn't in port yet, we were able to drop off our bags with the Port of San Diego porters between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m.
There was someone who needed to be debarked in Cabo San Lucas, which was their closest port for a medical emergency. Now, they'd already left Cabo about 3 hours before they got the alert. And it was around 7:30 when they got the alert they needed to offload, so they had to drive back to Cabo San Lucas. They left Cabo at around 1 a.m. yesterday.
And they've just arrived at San Diego.
And it is 2:15 in the afternoon, which means that they have been driving at not maximum speed, but pretty close to it, around 21 knots, just under, for 30-something hours.
And we know how rough that trip can be, because back in October 21, we had a cruise where we embarked and went down to Cabo the next day, and they really were at max speed, and the dishes were rattling, and the whole ship was rattling.
And a lot of the ship was seasick. With the ship getting in so late, we were given a heads up yesterday afternoon from the cruise line to push back our arrival time about 6 hours. So our new port arrival time is 6:30 p.m. and our boarding group is still boarding group 6. Now we're about to enter the land of speculation.
What will happen once we get on the ship? Dun dun dun.
We are going to first speculate on meals. How is food going to work when we get on board tonight? Because when we get on board at 6:30, well, that's not assuming we get on board. Our port arrival time is 6:30, which means we're probably not going to get on board until 7 or even later. So how is dinner going to work?
And we had first seating, which starts at 5:45. So what are we eating for dinner tonight?
How are we eating dinner? What's going to be open? So what our current theory is that Lumiere's is going to be reserved for concierge, similar to Embarkation Day lunch.
And Cabanas will be open, maybe.
And maybe both Animators and Rapunzel's will be open, and it'll be the Embarkation lunch menu. That's what our current speculation is on dinner tonight.
Because we feel that the crew is prepared to prepare that, and it's easy to handle. It's a limited menu, and people are going to be ready, wanting to go to bed, so they need something that's quick and easy. The crew's been up for hours, prepping, dealing with different things, so we think this is a simple solution for the ship.
That we're expecting, instead of having a repeat night in a dining room with the pirate menu, we're expecting to just get the standard menus once, and that's how the menus are going to work for this trip.
And although we'll cancel the pirate menu, we will still have a pirate night.
As for what we expect the show rotation is going to be, I don't think we're actually going to completely lose Sail Away. My gut is that Sail Away is actually going to happen on the day we leave Ensenada. So we're not going to lose the show experience. We're instead just going to get it on a different sailing away time. As for the big 3 Broadway style shows, I expect we're going to get one of those for the remaining 3 nights, and then they'll even show one on what's scheduled to be our pirate night. We're pretty sure the latest port arrival time is 8:30 to 9 p.m. tonight, which would mean that everybody's going to be on board around 9 p.m.
But that's a big question mark for us. And then, how do they do the muster drill? Will we go back to virtual just for this specific sailing, or will they make us go to our muster stations, considering there's going to be a lot of littles on board and we're already past their bedtime?
I think that's a really big one. I know a lot of people are really hoping for this to be a digital, also because they want to make Disney say that they can go back to digital at any point. But my gut is that we're going to have an in-person muster drill tonight. So come along with us on this new adventure, which I'm sure is going to be unlike any cruise we've done before. We always say we like to do unique itineraries, and this is definitely going to be different from anything we've done before. With basically a late night embarkation, it's going to be a hoot. So let's go have some fun. While we are waiting for our port arrival time to come, we decided to come on over to Ruth's Chris, which is right across from the port of San Diego, and indulge in their happy hour a little bit. So we're going to get some cocktails before we do dinner over on the ship in a couple hours, but we wanted to get something at least here to start. We got a perfect view of the ship from here. So I got the pomegranate martini. Cheers. It's always so good. And it has a sugared rim, which is really nice. I always really like the sugar rim.
We also had an incredible view of the sun setting just behind the Disney magic from our table on the patio at Ruth's Chris. We enjoyed some snacks and our martinis, all off of the happy hour menu, until happy hour ended, and then it was time to start heading towards the terminal. We have finished our drinks over at Ruth's Chris. It is currently 6 o'clock p.m. Port arrival time is at 6:30, so we are headed over to see if we can get in the queue. I'm going to go towards the back of the 6:30 line.
So the 6:30 queue is quite long, probably because they've shortened up how many port arrival times they've got with the limitations. So I'm heading to the back of the 6:30 port arrival time. It is currently 6:20 p.m. We are a 6:30 boarding group, and it's a bit of a mess. There's a lot of people, and it doesn't seem to be super well organized, but they're just kind of giving you a ticket, getting you through as fast as you can. Again, this is not something I've ever experienced before. Yeah, we may just have to squeak. It is slight chaos. We're sticking with one of the other folks that's been also super helpful in the Facebook group. So we very much appreciate all of them. So we are just about to head into the terminal now. Again, the people you meet in the Facebook group can be absolutely awesome. Always make friends and be a helper. Once you get in to the Port of San Diego, you don't really need your port arrival form. You mostly need your tickets. They check your port arrival form to give you the little tickets. That will get you in the building. Now again, Port of San Diego, relatively small, but we are finally in. It is currently 6:23 p.m. It's finally happening. It's only been a bit of an adventure. Okay, made it through security. One of our bags had to go through more than once. It's all fine. With that, we are about to go through check-in, get our wristbands, because I believe you still need a wristband for this. And then we are... Looks like they're just sending people straight on, like there's no waiting for boarding groups. That's what we can tell. So that's our best guess. So we'll keep you posted. And as you can tell, there is nobody in the waiting area. Nobody. So that's part of why we think they're just sending people straight on. So fingers crossed, we all get on board, everybody gets here safely, and it's gonna be a great time. Got through check-in, and now it is open boarding, so there's no boarding groups, it's just go. We will find out about food when we get on board. So we'll see how it goes. I might be regretting us going and getting 2 martinis. Mom is pushing ahead a little faster than we need to be. And we might need to be at points taking our time, and she has seen people who were behind us are now ahead of us, and now she is getting very competitive. There is indeed a photo area. If you're looking to get photos here at the Port of San Diego, again, we prefer to video our memories rather than have static images, so we don't bother. We just kind of walk straight on past. Looks like they are having all of us go up the escalator at this point. So we are going to head on up. We saw the beginnings of Halloween being pulled off. There was a bunch of garlands already on the pier, so we will see what we get. We might get Nightmare Before Christmas, meaning half Halloween, half Christmas. We'll see. How is dining working tonight?
You have 2 locations open.
Okay.
Rapunzel,
Okay.
that is open until 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Or Cabanas on deck 9,
Okay.
all the way up. That is a buffet style, open until 9 as well.
Okay.
You have the Outtake on deck 9, open until 9:30.
Is it the standard Embarkation Day lunch menu, or is it the Rapunzel's dinner menu?
Another menu.
So, okay, thank you so much for your information. I'm excited. Thank you, Tiago. Okay, new information, different from what we expected. So now we are off to dinner. We are going to Rapunzel's for dinner. Yay! And it's a different menu entirely. It's not Embarkation lunch menu, it's a different menu completely from what we're used to. So we're gonna go give that a shot. First time into Rapunzel's. The Stabbington Brothers. We may wanna go to the buffet. This is the Let the Magic Begin menu, which is the one we actually skipped on our last cruise.
So we have a choice of going to the buffet?
We could go to the buffet or we can go here. What do you think?
Let's go to the buffet. We never do that.
Okay, change of plans. Welcome to the kind of theme of this cruise. We're gonna go to Cabanas. Standard kiddie fare, salmon steak, panko crusted stuff, sticky rice, bok choy leeks. Oh, they don't have my favorite pasta. Oh, they do have the lunchtime pasta, Ma. Grilled sirloin with caramelized onions. Oh yeah, lots of focaccia. Oh, they got turkey. It's a little toasty in here, hence the jacket removal. That's just fallen down the side of the chair again. I decided to get a pretty veg-heavy dinner, some veg fried rice and some mixed veg. And yeah, we don't normally do cabanas at first embarkation. We normally go and do the sit-down, but the Let the Magic Begin menu is not a favorite, so we decided to come up here. That was actually a really good choice for dinner at Cabanas. Normally we do sit-down dining, but that was the quietest we have ever seen Cabanas, by far. So we had a pretty decent dinner. I went pretty heavy on the veg for what my stomach can handle right now. It is currently 8:42. Muster drill is at 9 o'clock tonight. Yeah. So we are going to go explore a little bit if we have time, and then see what we can see. I do like the vibes of Soul Cat. Looking forward to enjoying a drink here at some point. It is currently 8:57. Muster drill is due to start at 9 supposedly, but there's still people coming on the ship. So I have no idea when muster is.
In the event of an actual emergency, you will hear the general alarm, which is 7 short blasts, followed by 1 long blast of the ship's whistle.
We just got out of our muster drill. It is currently about 10 o'clock. And how many people can say they've done a muster drill at 9:30 at night on a Disney cruise ship?
Not many.
Not many, but we can. We might go do Magic Quest down over in
Fathoms?
Over in Fathoms. So we're gonna go check that out and try to stay awake a little later because I'm tired. We came to Fathoms for happy hour because it's happy hour. Happy hour is still 30% off. So we got 1 blue tang and 1 anemone. So I want to give it a taste. Ooh. Okay, the blue tang is very, very pineapple-y. That's about all I get is pineapple. It's good, but it's like pure pineapple juice to me. That's really good. Normally it comes with a glow cube. They're out of glow cubes right now, so they gave us one of the bracelets instead. And then Mom got the anemone. Ooh. Oh, that's much more herbal. I think she will like mine better.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I want to taste yours.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I like the blue tang better.
I know her taste in drinks.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep I like the anemone. Generally, the drinks here are pretty solid and 30% off at happy hour. Can't go wrong with it. Here at Fathoms, the martinis are between like $13 to $15. So for each of ours was $13 or $13.50, and we got 30% off, which took $4 off of each martini pretty much. So for 2 martinis with gratuity, it comes to $23.32, which I think is a really good deal for a martini, especially on a cruise ship. Like, martinis are not cheap. And $23 for 2 martinis, and that includes an 18% gratuity, is why we like to say drinking on a Disney ship is in some ways the best deal to go drinking at Disney.
Next, everyone, next, everyone on YouTube. Hello. All right. Well, for this next one today, you know what? I want to laugh. So, team captains, please bring me your team number and your best knock-knock joke. Your best knock-knock. Who? Who's there? Orange. 7. Now, team captains, for all the marbles, please bring me. Wait.
I think it's gonna be you.
Dum 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 dum.
Exactly. Team captains, please bring me your team number and
A teammate.
just your team number. That's it. Your team number.
We successfully played Magic Quest and did not win, but that's okay. I am now very tired because I ended up as team captain and was running back and forth the entire time. Somehow, well, I was the one who was not in Crocs and seemed to have the most energy.
A bunch of fun watching her run.
Was not that much fun to run. It was okay. The host was really funny, but you can definitely tell they lean into the teams that are more wacky and silly. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with trivia. I feel like there should have been harder things to find, I guess, is the other piece. Like, more than just, 2 left shoes or a sock with a hole in it, things like that.
What a day.
Yeah. That's Embarkation Day. It was definitely unconventional. It's currently probably just after 11, maybe 11:30 by now.
Very relaxing start of the day.
And very, honestly, it's been kind of stressful since we arrived at the terminal. In a way, not unexpectedly. Like, we kind of expected it to be a little bit stressful. It was definitely more of a whirlwind than normal.
We went to Cabanas, which we would never do on an embarkation lunch day, but it turned out to be the quietest place.
Yeah, there was a queue for dinner at Rapunzel's that we didn't have up in Cabanas.
Yeah, and plenty of seating.
Yeah, the open tables near us the entire time.
Yeah.
Plus outdoor seating, and it was really toasty in there, so maybe people went outside to sit. Food was okay.
It was like a mishmash lunch. There was dinner, whatever it was. There were kids things, there were grown-up things, there was salad, there was shrimp, There was carvery, there was some Chinese.
Yeah, it was edible.
Yeah. Then we took a little tour of the ship.
Mm-hmm. Just got our bearings around, went through most of the pubs and the bars, took a look at the menus. One thing that really caught us off guard was how expensive the drinks and keys are compared to the rest of the bars on the ship. So that was really interesting.
The menu items there weren't that interesting either for that price.
No.
We went to Fathoms for happy hour.
Mm-hmm.
Had 2 different drinks. Ended up switching we each ordered as we usually do.
I don't know why. I order something that ends up being that I will like, but you end up preferring, and then I like both of them. Would we recommend Magic Quest as a game to people? Would we tell people you have to go check this out? I would say no.
I would say a mother-daughter team no.
Honestly, it was too easy. They needed to make some of those you gotta find things way harder. Yeah. Like the Alaskan dollar was the best one of the entire one because people were like, what's an Alaskan dollar? And it's one of those, like, it needs to combine a little bit more trivia and running, because it was more just like, just get up and run. This stuff was like, bring an earring. How many people have earrings? It was things like that. Like, if it had been something like, bring something with polka dots, bring something made out of wood. Those are things that not everybody has on them. And one of the things is you can beg, borrow, or steal.
Right.
But there's no way to...
There was no need to.
There was no need to. It was too easy. What's an Alaskan dollar? It's a standard US dollar. With that, we'll sign off and we'll see y'all tomorrow. Or in your guys' terms, next week.
Bye.
Bye, y'all. So come along with us on this new adventure. There's a bunch of Navy boats back there. Looks like Marines. I see Marine flags on them. Or I thought I saw Marine flags. Maybe not.